Little update on the summer kitchen. We have got stacks and stacks and stacks of jars here. This is not where they're going to live. This is just where I temporarily got them. But the big stack that was all the way to the ceiling now has 2 boxes left. And I plan on getting them done today, Lord willing. Found a box full of soap making equipment that I forgot I had, and these are just blue containers that we carry jars in. So still a lot of organization to do, but after this, the jars on the inside, got plenty of jars outside we need to deal with, but on the inside will be dealt with, and we can start organizing this area. They're still going to be stacked to the ceiling, but they will at least be organized. We've got these old buttercup things just in this part of the field where the sorghum grew last year, and but it is wet. I mean, it is wet out here. And all I've asked him to do is, here's how wet it is. So he has to keep the disc way up. He's stuck now. He just lifts the disc up and it comes on down through there. But you can't just mow these off and kill them. You actually have to kind of dig them up. So I'm hoping this technique will work. And we may have to do this a few times to get them all killed. They're at their height right now, but you can see the other part of the field where we didn't have sorghum last year. Oh, here he comes. That's chopping them up like salad right there. So right there next to this field behind that green truck, we didn't have sorghum. That's where the sorghum's going this year, and it doesn't have any of these. So I don't know what we did. I guess just disturbing the soil got that seed bank up and going. But it really looks good where he's done that. So we'll see if it works. We'll give them a couple weeks and then we'll whack them up again. We've had this planter sitting on the porch for a long time because I have a black thumb, and but we've been noticing a lot of activity around it. So I'm going to get it down for you to show you what's inside. So we got 5 little eggs. Got some horsehair on the inside. So we'll keep a watch on these for you. Well, he did a great job, as muddy as it was. So I think we're going to wait till it to dry up some and then go over it again, and maybe that'll do the trick. Looks great though. We are getting down to the very last box. Now, it's not the last of the jars. We still got plenty of jars and stuff to clean over there. But this area is where they're going to be stacked and kind of around the window. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do that, but I love, see you didn't even see the window before. Isn't that amazing? But the problem with the window, let me take you over to it. You're just going to go right out because there is no glass. Well, there's glass right there, but we're going to put the glass back in the window so this can be a functioning area. So we are down to the last box on the inside, and we're going to see what is in here. I thought you might want to see what I've been dealing with. And this is just like the box I had before. It's very odd. It is I guess they used. See, we've got full jars, and then the empty jars are in here too. So I guess they'd use some of them, but the other box was just like this too. So they'd use some of them, and then they had full ones in the same box. So let's get this last box to the sink. Not exciting, but it's exciting to me. Empty box. Now I've still got a few sitting up here on the windowsill, but you can see the windowsill. So let's get these jars emptied.
To the store, and they were doing price changes on jars. And so from last year's price, which is around $20, $21 for regular mouth 12-pack of quart jars, they've gone up to $25.99 for 1 pack. That's over $2 a piece for a off-brand regular mouth quart jar. And pints were over $18 for 12. So that's still over $1 for a jar. So Mama's work is not going to go unnoticed and unappreciated in the future months.
Well, look, look, look. It's empty. Can't wait to see the whole floor empty. Won't that be great? Oh, and I wanted to show you something. Let's see, where's the date? Can you see it? Is it going to, might not focus, but it's December 17th, 1983 was when one of those boxes had been packaged. And we went by this house all the time when Miracle was in college. And it's yellow, it's beautiful. This is a Wednesday morning, and this is the only morning of the week that both kids are here, not working their regular jobs, and they help on the farm. So today, Righteous, he is a great tractor driver, but he doesn't have a lot of experience on the loader yet. And I asked him if he wanted me to do it, but he wants to practice. And learning to use those fingers or forks on the loader as an extension of your hands is a very good skill to learn, but it takes a long time. So we've got this stack, and don't tell Joey, but we're stealing his firewood because I priced stuff to make raised beds with, and it was just too expensive. So we're using what we have. So he did great on that one. But we're going to cut these to length and just make us a small raised bed for the sweet potatoes. We got the logs we needed to make the new bed. And this is the old bed, so our new bed's going to be just a little bit longer, and it's definitely going to be taller. And so today's job was just getting the logs down, and we got the main ones cut to length, but the smaller ones are going to be the sides, and they're going to be stacked on top of each other. So we hadn't decided exactly the depth of it yet, so we'll be cutting them later. But I've got to get all this moved first. Look at the wing. It's about out. These are some of the treasures that I found, and I'm real excited about them because I'm just going to use them. Now, remember, they're not totally clean or anything like that, but I wanted to show them to you, and I've got them in order of how old they are. I really thought the ones with the O and the stars, and there's some with squares and different things on them, were made by the same company, but they're not. As a matter of fact, this is the newest jar I found. It's the magic button. That's not an O. Get out here in the sun. That's a button. And the lid would have had a button on it too, but don't have that. And it was made in 1975. This is a star mason, and it was made in the early 1970s. And the next one is the Kerr with the small self-sealing words on it. And it was made in 1960. And next is one that I thought was related to the other ones, but it's not. It's a square G mason. And the square G was made in the 1950s. Okay, this is the second Kerr jar, and it's a little bit older because it says on it, glass top. Kerr glass top. And the letters are taller on this one. And it was made in 1945. Isn't that great? Now I have some other jars like this, but this was in the boxes, so I just wanted to show you the ones that I found in the boxes. And these jars with the waffle on them were made in the 1930s. And they're more or less what they called fruit jars. But I think they're beautiful. And this one here is the oldest. And it's an Atlas strong shoulder mason. Atlas strong shoulder mason. And it was made in the 1920s. So that one right there goes right along with my house. So I didn't show you any of the balls because I have a great big ball jar collection. And of course they're more common. but I have some that was made back in the 1900s, and I will be doing a video like in the wintertime when we haven't got a lot of farming going on of just ball jars. But I wanted to show you these unusual ones, and I would love to hear the kinds you collect and the kinds that you have found. And if you have any more information on those first ones that I was showing you, the masons with the star, and like I said, I've got a mason with the I've got a mason with a square and different shapes like that, but I have not been able to find who makes them because they just don't have a lot of information on the bottom. So if anybody has some of these and they know where they're made and has better dates and stuff on them, I'd love to hear from you. Put it down in the comments for me. So here it is. It's about the end of the week, and the floor is clean under the little window that was stacked to the ceiling, and I am tickled to death. Like I said, I think this is maybe molasses on the floor, but we're going to be pulling all that out and washing this floor and putting the plastic containers, the plastic carriers that'll keep the boxes off the floor, and the pallet, and that's where things are going to go back. And I'm not going to be able to clean these jars on this bottom shelf right now because it is planting season. So next week we're going to be planting, and we're going to plant until we get it done. So thank you for joining me during this little journey, and when I get everything in here and organized, I'll bring you back. We have a very special story coming up next week, next Friday. It's a very sad, and then it turns into What Can God Do? And very special story about our family, and it's especially all about my daughter, and I hope y'all join us. Thank you, and blessings to everyone.